Coming up, no electricity and no water mains? No problem for this amazing vacation home.
True and amazing.
It's a one-bedroom, 900-square-foot home located on Drag Lake in Haliburton, Ontario. The home has no road access, so they pack up their own private boat for a 10-minute trip to their property. It was amongst this wooded solitude that they built their amazing vacation home. The challenge for the off-the-grid house was how to have a minimal impact on the environment. The answer can be found in the home's materials.
There's a gentleman on the CBC radio talking about he was reclaiming 4,000 units of glass. So instead of going into landfill, he was offering it to the public to be reclaimed or recycled. So we went down on the way to work and looked at the glass and realized it was perfect for us, and just felt it was irresistible not to take advantage of reclaiming glass and using it again to view nature from.
These 90-pound glass windows were brought over on the boat and carried to the site. Dan is no architect, but he does have some design training and a background in carpentry. But that didn't deter him from embarking on a 2-year mission to build his dream home on this difficult lot, 70 feet above the lake on a granite cliff. Total cost to complete, less than $200,000.
Did the glass actually determine the dimension of the building?
It did.
Completely?
The 5-foot by 6-foot dimension established the grid that we use for the post and beam structure. When you come inside, you'll see the columns based on a 10-foot grid dimension.
Post and beam?
Post and beam, this is it. And then basically these post bases are embedded into the concrete, and they support this 6 by 12 Douglas fir beam. And if you're looking behind there, what we've done is we've put a 6 by 6 Douglas fir column that extends right up into the structure of the building. We also, when we hit bedrock, we had to drill 100 holes, about 8 holes per column into bedrock, about 6 inches. And with steel rebar, we anchored the building to the bedrock.
I'm a big fan of Frank Lloyd Wright, and it kind of reminds me of the Usonian homes that he built through the 30s and 50s, just especially with this low roof that you have here.
Exactly. He was a big fan of flat roofs, and the modular system that Frank Lloyd Wright established was sort of repeated here as well.
Ah, so you're a fan too, huh?
Totally a fan. And then a lot of his concepts as far as going to the woods for a color scheme, we really wanted the building to blend in. And it was a really nice surprise when we bought the glass up here. The glass in the city, when it reflected the sky, was more of a gold color. And up here, it turned a really deep bronze when it starts reflecting leaves and pine trees and rocks.
The recycled glass and raised footings are also used because they have a minimal impact on the environment, which is one of the main reasons for living off the grid. When a home is off the grid, it's completely detached from public utilities like electricity and water.
Oh, wow. It is nice and toasty in here.
But that doesn't mean that there are no modern comforts. In the kitchen, Diane explains how everyday appliances have been adapted to live off the grid.
This was a stove we had at home, and we moved into the condo, and the condo didn't have gas. This was a gas stove, so we converted it to propane.
Where is the propane tank located?
Outside.
Oh, so it runs underground?
Yeah, that's the same tank that's running the fridge as well.
Because there is no electricity in the home, 47 candles serve as its light source. The home is heated by using a large Canadian-made wood-burning stove in the living room area and another wood-burning stove in the bedroom.
I've got my potatoes cooking in the bedroom, and I think they're burning.
You're serious? You have potatoes cooking in your bedroom?
I do.
Awesome.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, this was the original wood stove that we bought.
And you've got some eco fans here? Is this helping with the heat? Oh, it certainly does.
Yeah,
and
great.
obviously they're not powered, so is it being powered by the heat of this?
Exactly, yeah, there's a thermocoupler in there. So, and they have a, on the bottom, there's a mechanism. If it gets too hot, this little lever will actually lift it off. This is our hot water heater.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. So this also runs off propane. When you turn on the hot tap, the water runs through it and heats it. And this is a 65-gallon holding tank. When we turn the generator on, the pump comes on, and we fill this up once a day.
If you were to describe this place to somebody who hasn't seen it before, or maybe couldn't have the opportunity to come, how would you describe this place?
I'd probably describe it as a juxtaposition of, you know, modern life with the wilderness.
So I'm assuming there's no amenities back in the city that you're missing.
No. None whatsoever.
That's great.
Toronto residents Dan and Diane Molnar designed and hand-built their off-the-grid home on an isolated lot in Haliburton, Ontario. One of the benefits of being off the grid is that it's low impact on the environment. That idea also extends to the building's materials that are chemical and maintenance-free.
What kind of wood is this?
This is an African hardwood called padauk.
So it doesn't decay?
Nope, it doesn't. And when they cut it, the cut part is bright orange, and then over a matter of days, it'll go dark like this. There's no stain on this at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And also this kitchen table and bench. This is beautiful.
Yeah, this was all made on site.
You guys put plywood on the floor. Why was that?
It was the easiest thing at the time to do. And,
It looks beautiful. You've stained it so well.
Yeah, I actually laid the floor.
You did?
Yeah, it was a big learning curve, and you can see with and this is probably the worst example of it here. We should probably go to a different one, but this. To cut this out, to get this in tight, they're all pretty much butt right up.
This is Douglas fir?
Yeah, this is Douglas fir flooring.
Why did you decide to put flooring on the roof?
It's stunning.
Isn't it? It is beautiful.
We didn't want any drywall, and again, drywall you have to paint, it's like no maintenance. I don't have to do anything to that.
The contrast is almost like the house is flipped upside down. You've got the flooring on the roof and the siding on the floor.
This house may be beautiful, but there are still a few necessities required of any vacation home.
Now, there's no shower inside.
No.
This is where you shower?
That's right.
You're off-grid, so that means no electricity, no running water. How does this all work?
Okay, there's a deep well submersible pump that stays in the lake year-round. We do use a generator for about 3 or 4 minutes a day to fill our water tank. And basically, we have just garden hose that's buried in the ground that comes up here and feeds the shower head with hot and cold water.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
Nothing
really
like
good.
having a shower outdoors, huh? Okay, what about the toilet? Where we go to the bathroom?
Okay. Let's go have a look.
We've got a little outhouse, huh?
Call it a privy. This is the door here. One of the issues with outhouses or privies is that ventilation is a huge concern. There's not much breeze today, but these 2 big vents go down into the pit, and that wind turbine pulls the air down through the pit constantly.
So the challenge for the Molinars was to construct an isolated vacation home, removed from public services, and to do it themselves. They found their answer with the off-the-grid house.
You guys drew this up, built it yourself. From the beginning to end, is it what you thought it would turn out to be?
It's like a lot more beyond our expectations.
It's been an enormous learning experience as well. There's been so many values that we didn't have in our life that we now have with the cottage. I can't imagine living without it.